Hello engineers, in this video we are going to discuss about the one of the most important topic, that is reciprocating pump. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss about the what is reciprocating pump, okay, which type of pumps are the reciprocating pump, right? Then we will discuss about the general information about the reciprocating pump and the plunger pump, piston pump mainly we will discuss about it, right? Then we will discuss about the how the reciprocating pump works, right? What is the meaning of reciprocating? Okay, types, like how many types of the reciprocating pumps which mainly you use in industry as well as in your domestic application, that we will discuss in this video, right? There are so many types of the reciprocating pumps which we will discuss here. Then we will discuss about the main components of the reciprocating pump, and where you will see that there are so many components which you must know when you want to study about the reciprocating pump. Then you must know that what are the main components and what are the significance of that components in the reciprocating pump, right? And in the last we will discuss that what are the application of the reciprocating pump. Okay, so let's start the video with what is reciprocating pump. Okay, so if you are new in our YouTube channel, so simply subscribe our YouTube channel, press the bell icon so that you could get the latest notification. Okay, so let's start the video with what is reciprocating pump. Before I come into the what is reciprocating pump, in our last videos we discussed about the centrifugal pump, right? And we also discussed that pumps are mainly classified into the two categories. The first one is rotodynamic pump, in which your centrifugal pump come, right? And in the second category there is a positive displacement type pump. Okay, so these type of pumps are the your reciprocating pumps. Now what is the meaning of the positive displacement type pump? Okay, we will also discuss about it, in which nothing happens. What happens that in the positive displacement pump there will be your one system. Okay, so in that system you will take the closed volume, or simply you can say the fixed volume you will take there. So and after that, if you are replacing, like let's suppose in the system there is the liquid. Okay, if you are compressing it or expanding the system, okay, with the help of the piston or plunger, then what will happen that its pressure will increase, right? So this action is called the reciprocating pump. Are you getting my point, what I want to say, right? And the positive displacement pumps are also classified as the rotary pump. Okay, in the rotary pump you will see that you will take the closed volume, okay, or the fixed volume simply you can say. Then but in that case there is the rotary motion, means let's suppose the gear pump. Okay, gear pump comes into the your positive displacement type pump. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? Okay, so now let's discuss that what is the reciprocating pump and the general information about the reciprocating pump. So as we have already discussed that the reciprocating pump is a type of the positive displacement of type pump. Okay, this is the positive displacement type pump, and we have already discussed that what is the positive displacement mean, right? So in this reciprocating pump, the closed volume of liquid is trapped, okay, in the chamber that is stationary cylinder that contains plunger or piston. If you will see this reciprocating pump, so this is a piston type reciprocating pump, right? And if you will see this reciprocating pump, okay, this one is a plunger type reciprocating pump. Now here may be one plunger, two plunger, or three plunger. Okay, means the triplex plunger, right? It depends on the like your requirement. Okay, what are the process condition, but mainly what I want to tell you that in the reciprocating pump what happens, the closed volume of liquid is trapped, right, in a chamber, or simply you can say in the system. Like here this is your chamber. Are you getting my point? And that is a stationary cylinder. So this is your stationary cylinder that contains plunger or piston. What is the application or what is the function of the piston or plunger? Simply it increase the pressure. How? As it compress the system. if you simply, we have studied in thermodynamics that let's suppose this is your piston, right? This is your piston and there is the liquid, there is the liquid. So simply if you will compress the system, what will happen that the pressure will increase. Why the pressure will increase? Because the molecules will come closer, the molecule will come closer. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? Now the one of the most important thing which I have seen that the students are so much confused, that is the working of the reciprocating pump, how it works. That is very important. Okay, so before that I would like to tell you only one thing. Okay, that is, what is this? The suction wall there written is there. Actually, what is this? This is not the suction wall, this is the, simply you can say the suction wall but NRV type. Okay, same, this is the discharge wall but the NRV type, right? So now what happens that there is the crank and the crank rod. Okay, that is the different thing. See here, this is your piston. Okay, and simply you can say this is the heart of the your reciprocating pump. Now what will happen that as it will go backward, what will happen that the vacuum will create here. What will happen here? The vacuum will create here. Okay, so as the vacuum will create here, what will happen that the liquid which is here, the liquid which will here, that pressure is higher, let's suppose P1, and as it will go, let's suppose here, so what will happen that the vacuum will create here, and let's suppose the pressure is P2. So now what will happen that P1 is greater than P2, so your liquid will go here, and as this is NRV, so what will happen that this flapper will go like that, and your valve will be open and your liquid will be simply fill here. Okay, now let's change the color, right? Your liquid will be fill here. So as this piston will go forward, so what will happen now, as this piston will go forward, so what will happen that its pressure will increase. Okay, now let's suppose that this is P3. Okay, its pressure will increase, and here let's suppose its pressure is P4. This is, I am just telling you, okay, because I just want that you could understand it easily. Okay, so now what will happen that as you will compress the system, what will happen that P3 will increase. Okay, and the P4, okay, this is the P4 side where right now there is no liquid. So what will happen that simply you can say P3 is greater than P4. So what will happen, this NRV will open and your liquid will go like that. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? Simply when it will go backward, so vacuum will create, and from the suction side the liquid will pump. Okay, and when it will go forward, means your piston when will go forward, so what will happen that it will compress the system. Okay, it will compress the cylinder and your liquid pressure will increase, and simply what will happen that your liquid will go towards the delivery side. Why? Because that side pressure is less. Okay, so this happens with the help of your crank rod and the crank, simply you can say, and this is connected with the prime mover. This is connected with the prime mover, you can say, and the motor, simply you can say. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? So this is the working of the reciprocating pump. Now you have the rough idea about the reciprocating pump, that how it works. Okay, means simply what you are doing, you are simply compressing the system or expanding it. Okay, what you are doing, you are simply adjusting the volume, whether you are compressing it or expanding it. Okay, when you are expanding it, what is happening, that the volume, like the liquid is coming here, and when you are expanding it, so liquid is going outside from the delivery side. Okay, or the delivery pipe, you can say. Okay, so that's how the reciprocating pump work. Now you will have the rough idea about the reciprocating pump, that how it works. Now we will discuss about the how now we will discuss about the types of the reciprocating pump. Okay, so there are so many types of the reciprocating pumps which mainly we see in our industry as well as in our daily life application, right? So what I will tell you that I hope you know that now what is the reciprocating pump and how it works. Okay, now the main thing is that what I want to tell you that there are so many types of the reciprocating pump, okay, which mainly you see in your in your surrounding, in your daily life application as well as in the industry as well. But my main motive is that you must know that what is the basic behind it. Okay, so if you will classify the reciprocating pump by source of work, right? So there is some types of the reciprocating pump. The first one is simple hand operated reciprocating pump, means this pump you can simply operate it by the hand. Okay, so you can see here the cycle pump, okay, by which we fill the air in our cycle. Okay, and simply you can say in the football as well. Okay, so what is that? This is also the reciprocating pump. Now how? Simply what you do here, you backward and forward the pump, okay, with the help, or simply you can say this handle, simply this handle you can say the piston handle or the connecting rod. Are you getting my points? So this is the simple hand operated reciprocating pump. Now the another one is the power operated deep well reciprocating pump. This is the another type of the reciprocating pump. Okay, I didn't get the picture of this reciprocating pump. Okay, and if you will see the reciprocating pump by mechanism, so this is the very important for us with respect to industry point of view as well as with respect to the exam as well. So the first is single acting reciprocating pump. Okay, so this is the picture of the single acting reciprocating pump. So what is the meaning of it? It means that there will be one suction and one discharge. Okay, one suction, one discharge means this piston there will be one piston, but there will be one piston, okay, and the one suction pipe and one discharge pipe. Okay, so what is the example of the single acting reciprocating pump? Simply your syringe. Okay, this syringe is also a single acting reciprocating pump. Can you please explain this, why the syringe is a single acting reciprocating pump? Because this is the very basic question which is asked in the industry or in the interview as well, right? Now double acting reciprocating pump, right? So in the double acting reciprocating pump, what happens that there will be simply what will happen here, see, this will be your chamber, okay, and just I am making one drawing here. Simply you can see so now what will happen, there is the liquid will come, okay, and this is your piston, this will your piston. Now what will happen that it will connect like that, now what will happen that here, see this one, there will be simply, there is nothing in the double acting reciprocating pump. What will happen here, simply if I tell you, this is your sump, okay, and the tank, simply you can say. So now what will happen that there is the two suction and two discharge, this one and this one, and the piston, and this is your piston, and again there is the same thing will be happen. But in that case what will happen that there is the two suction and two discharge, so the pulsation will become, okay. Now what is this word pulsation? Okay, actually the pulsation is that when the reciprocating pumps operate, okay, what happens that like at one time the liquid come, okay, then it compress, then liquid go, okay, means what will happen that the pressure will increase like that, so if you will use the double acting reciprocating pump, so this pulsation will be less. This pulsation will be less. Why? Because your discharge side or suction side will be continuous. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? So that is the double acting reciprocating pump. Same, there is the triple acting reciprocating pump. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? And now if you will classify the reciprocating pump by the number of cylinder. Now if you will classify the reciprocating pump by number of cylinders, in the last, like in the second type, how we classify? By the mechanism, like single acting, double acting, triple acting. Same, like in a third, if I say the number of cylinders, means there can be a one cylinder, double cylinder, triple cylinder. See here, there is the one cylinder. This is your cylinder, right? There is the one cylinder. So there may be two, there may be like one cylinder, there may be two cylinder, there may be triple cylinder. So it depends on the your requirement. What is the industrial requirement? How much pressure you want, right? How much the how much the criticality of the process? It depends on that. Are you getting my point, what I want to say? Okay. Now, one of the most important parts of the video, that is the main components of the reciprocating pump. So the one of the most important component, I will not say, this is not the part of the like reciprocating pump, that is the reservoir or simply tank, you can say, from where your reciprocating pump will take the suction, right? Second is strainer. Now you will say that if you are working in an industry, you will say, sir, the strainer is not used in the reciprocating pump. No, it is used as well in the reciprocating pump as well, in the suction side as well as in the discharge side. I have seen in the liquid ammonia line, but mainly strainer is used at the suction side of the centrifugal pump. But why it is used in the reciprocating pump? It depends on the your requirement or your liquid, right? Your which type of fluid you are handling. Mainly strainer is used to protect the internal parts of the pump. Okay, so it could simply damage the internal parts of the pump. That's why we use the strainer. Okay, now what is the third? Third is the suction and discharge pipe. This is your suction pipe from where the liquid will be sucked or pump, you can say, and this is your discharge side from where the high pressure fluid will go to the destination or at the proper place. Then suction valve, right? This suction valve will be type of the NRV. Okay, now now there can be a swing type NRV, disc type NRV, flapper type NRV, lift type NRV. Depends on the your where is your reciprocating pump and which type of fluid you are handling, which is the pressure there. Okay, depends on that, but it will be NRV. Okay, why this will be NRV? The reason is that when the vacuum will create here, so simply there will be the high pressure and there will be low pressure. So what will happen, that this NRV will open, and when the pressure will increase, so simply this flapper will be closed. As this flapper will be closed, so the liquid, high pressure liquid, cannot go towards the suction side, otherwise your NRV will pass. Are you getting my points? So that's why there is the at the suction side as well as at the discharge side, there is the NRV used. Then there is the cylinder. Cylinder means this system where you trap the liquid, or chamber, you can say simply. Then piston and plunger. Okay, piston plunger you can say, and the piston plunger and piston rod. Now what is that? This is one of the most important components in the reciprocating pump. Okay, so the reason is that in the centrifugal pump, okay, in the centrifugal pump, impeller is the heart. In the centrifugal pump, impeller is the heart. Okay, same I would like to tell you that in the reciprocating pump, piston or plunger is the heart of the reciprocating pump. Are you getting my point? Okay, so that's why this is the very important. Okay, so piston is directly connected to a rod, that is the piston rod. Okay, this piston will be connected directly to your piston rod. Okay, and this piston rod is again it will be connected to the connecting rod, and then this piston makes the reciprocating action, which we have already discussed, like backward or forward, that will create the pressure inside this cylinder. Are you getting my point? If you haven't studied about the centrifugal pump, so simply you can check it out our centrifugal pump playlist. Okay, there are so many videos about the centrifugal pump, and you will get to know about the some useful information about the centrifugal pump. Now there is the another components are piston rings packing, that is mainly used like to prevent the your pump internal, you can say, and it also prevent our pump from the leaking, right? Then crank and connecting rod, that is this one, which is connected to the your piston or piston rod, you can say, and then it is connected to the prime mover. Delivery valve, we have already discussed about it. Okay, and in the last, that is also very important, that is the dampener. Okay, why dampener used? Mainly dampener can be used at the suction side, it could be used at the suction side, and it could be used at the delivery side. So as we, like I was discussing with you, that the dampener, okay, before dampener there is the pulsation in the reciprocating pump. Okay, because the flow is not continuous. Are you getting my point? The flow is not continuous because at one time your suction valve will be closed, and at the another and at that time your delivery valve will be open, and when your delivery valve will be closed, then at that time your suction valve will be open. So what happens, that there is the pulsation creates. So to prevent our system from that pulsation or the downstream from that pulsation, the dampener is used. So what the dampeners work? Dampener simply reduce the pulsation. Okay, there will be, like you will see in our industry, this type of the dampener mainly you will use, and there will be like at the upper side there will be steam jacketing, you can say. Okay, so what will happen, that as the volume will be reduced, okay, so what will happen, that it will goes, like the liquid will goes from here and it will reduce the pulsation. Are you getting my point? That's good. And in the last, if we discuss about the application of the reciprocating pump, so you will see that mainly reciprocating pump is used where high head is required, where high head you can say, and the pressure you can say, where the high head is required and relatively low flow rate is required, there we use the reciprocating pump use. Okay, now whenever you will see the reciprocating pump, so simply just you in your mind there should be, like in your mind, two parameters should be come, that is the high pressure or high head and the low flow. Okay, so that's why you will see in, like in a vehicle cleaning, sewer line cleaning, okay, and in your RO system you will see in hydrojetting, because at that time we require a high pressure. Okay, in hydro testing of exchangers, hydrojetting of the exchangers, there you will see the reciprocating pump. Are you getting my point? In the wet sandblasting, what happens, that the molds in the, like molds means like in a tire industry you will see that there are the molds. Okay, in that molds your raw tire cure. Okay, so what happens, that sometimes what we do the sandblasting to increase its efficiency. That time as well there is the reciprocating pump used, because we want the high pressure. Are you getting my points? And same, if you want to like vessel, pipe, tank, tube, condensate pipe, heat exchangers cleaning, in that time as well we use the simply reciprocating pump. And one of the most important application is that in the lube oil circuit. Okay, in the lube oil circuit mainly you will see the reciprocating pump or the gear pump as well, but mainly the gear pump is used in the lube oil circuit. Sometimes you can see the reciprocating pump as well. Now there is the one question for you, that in your home which type of the pump you are using? Please let me in the comments box. If you haven't watched our pump playlist, where the centrifugal pumps, we have made the so many videos about the centrifugal pump. Please watch that videos as well. Okay, so that's all for the today's video. If you have any question in this video, if you have any doubt in this video, please let me in the comments box. Okay, I'll clear your doubt as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. Till then, keep learning. Thank you.